Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jae Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Elian Haan, a transformation coach with over 40 years of experience in fitness, wellness, and executive coaching. Based in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, Elian is the founder of Better Body Basics, Better Life Basics, and a part of the Cedar Creek Wellness Group, where she empowers executives, leaders, and women in midlife through holistic coaching, yoga, and trauma-informed practices. Her work, including her TV show, Elian's Joy, and programs like Feel Alive 2025 is revolutionizing how clients achieve personal and professional transformation. We'll be exploring her inspiring journey, how her coaching empowers executives, and her vision for scaling her impact nationally. With that being said, let's dive right in. Elian, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate the long, endless introduction.
An
Thank
incredible background. So
you.
I had to make sure I touched on all the amazing points. Just an incredible background that you have there, Elian, and I'm honored
Thank
to
you.
have you on the show. So, with that, let's start at the beginning for our listeners, if you can. What specific problem in the wellness and coaching landscape really inspired you to start Better Life Basics and Elian Haan LLC with the focus on executive coaching?
The focus on executive coaching came in a little bit later, about 10 years ago.
Mm.
I have been a career a really long time ago. You gave my age away there. A really long time ago, I started in the dance professional world. I'm from the Netherlands, came in Amsterdam, grew up in Amsterdam, studied in Amsterdam, worked there, rolled in the early years of Jane Fonda and Richard Simmons, dropped the pink, right, and put on the ankle warmers, dropped into professional fitness. And I do have a long time career, about, yes, 40 years in professional fitness teaching, developing programs, speaking all over the world in different cities in the United States as well, at wellness and health conventions about the power of movement. And that kind of slowly rolled into, it was a very organic move, Jay, to roll into coaching because about 10 years ago, got offered a job as a wellness counselor at an addiction facility, inpatient, 30 to 90 days, bringing holistic programming there. And at that point, I became interested and certified as a trauma-informed coach because one of the things that I was implementing was just not somatic healing only, right? Just it's a physical body that manifests pain and it's manifesting our trauma. We can still get triggered and just have to recognize that. So I really became interested. And now I can say specialized in that trauma informs work with clients. And through Cedar Creek Wellness Group, later on, I stayed there for about 8 years, opened my own practice. Meanwhile, slowly moved from full-time again into part-time, into my own practice, seeing clients. And I get clients from therapists that are working with people on trauma as well, but I do their somatic work. So we do mindfulness, we do paying attention to breathing, paying attention to, of course, these feelings of anxious, these feelings of depression sometimes. So working on all that just gave me a really big insight in what our human minds, what our little noodle brain can do for us or cannot do for us, so to
Right.
speak. And just really also, again, organically, I got more clients that were in the 50 plus business owner, entrepreneur range as well. And in that realm, I did another executive coaching course and just said, step it up to the plate. I really like to work with people that are stuck. And that is now my whole thing. I help you from stuck to unstoppable. And I am unstoppable. Yes, absolutely. It's great to work with male, female people that are business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, CEOs. Yeah. And just help them through the kind of problems that they're stuck with.
Amazing. Just incredible on that front, and just gave us so much insight as well on what you are doing. One of the things that I wanted to really dive in is exactly how you're generating revenue, what the core offer is. And you just really let us in right there with the coaching, with the somatic work, the course that you have for those entrepreneurs, the executives, that leadership side of things. So with that, Elian, what is the kind of the bread and butter for you? Is it more of the one-on-one executive coaching? Is it more of a group coaching? Is everything that you're doing virtual, or are you doing in person? What does that look like? What is the bread and butter for you?
I would call it a two-tier business. The one-on-one is still very popular. I love that. I have programs that go from intensive 2 months to a year. Most clients like to stay with me even longer than a year, because then we get to that a really comfortable setting of knowing each other. We're through the transformation, we're really feeling better. Then when we become unstoppable together, then it is a matter of planning, goal setting, accountability, right? So that coaching of in the beginning, helping people just get unstuck and really recognize triggers, anxiety, work-life balance, situations that we work on. After a while, we really get to that point of, okay, let's stay, because now we're just accountability buddies and let's go. I'm going to call you every week, or see you every week, or see you on Zoom every week. Most of my work is virtual. And I'm going to ask you, how did it go? What worked, what did not work? So that is the one tier. And the other tier of my business, of course, I was trained by Eric Lofholm International, one of the greatest speaker trainers in the world, according to me. I love it. But no, great training, the Jim Rohn model. Speaking is wonderful. It's a wonderful outlet for me. It's a wonderful method to me to reach out, right? So if you're asking about scaling, speak for me. Go to organizations, speak to corporations, speak to businesses, I speak everywhere, the chamber.
Yeah.
I love networking. I have several network organizations that I'm a founding member of. I go everywhere and I speak. I wear my cape. I wear my coaching cape all the time. And I love that. I love connecting with people, talking to them, try to finding out where their pain points are, right? What they're not seeing maybe in the moment. I like to listen, although I babble right now, but I love to listen, right? When it comes to my clients, yes, I can see. And due to all that somatic work in the past, I really see immediately where people are also holding tension in their body, or where they're feeling still that limiting, maybe it's limiting belief system that hold you back. Maybe it's a sense of self-esteem or confidence. Maybe it's the courage that we need to move forward. And I can see that, and I can recognize that in people. And I have that sense, I think I have a good sense of that feeling with people, to where I can feel them and see where they're holding back. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I love it, and especially with the amount of experience that you have, and the amount of clients that you've had, the conversations that you've had, to be at that point where you are now is just incredible. So you mentioned a bit there on the acquisition side, right? I would really love to understand what's working best for you today. I know that you said you're doing a lot of networking, a lot of speaking engagements. How do you juggle being a founder and having so many in-person events and speaking engagements with the acquisition side? What's working best for you there? Are you doing ads, social media? I know you're doing a lot of in-person events. Walk us through what that looks like for you, Ellie.
Yeah. Speaking, of course, I have a book, working on book number 2. I had a bestseller out a couple of years ago, which is always a great stepping stone. The second book is more like a workbook, which is more as a gifting kind of opening funnel situation that I can use to lead people in the conversation. So it's speaking, networking, absolutely. Starting a conversation, absolutely. My follow-up is usually through my CRM, lots of emails, in a sense of opening emails, opening conversation, and regular things like newsletters, blogs. Then I have the social media, LinkedIn and Facebook, which are my 2 main social media platforms. I am on Instagram as well, and TikTok, but that's more, my main are really LinkedIn and Facebook. And then 3 years ago, of course, I started my talk show, which is now 3.5 years ago. It was on a live platform. And the live platform was for women by women. It was called Win-Win Women, an international platform to provide information by women for women. I stayed with a podcast format just recently because that platform moved on or closed or dissipated. It didn't have that. So we were I was on Roku, on Amazon, on Apple. You could find it everywhere, all podcasts. And now I have to find a new format where I'm going to host, bring that show, that platform. I love to give out information. I love to share information. Sharing is caring, I always say. So that is one of my main points as well. So I got the podcast, I got the book, I got the speaking engagements. From there on, Jay, honestly, it is starting a conversation. It is feeling. I always have an intake conversation with somebody. I'm not really one of these people that go, you got 30 minutes and I need to wrap it up. I take time to get to know and feel people, and I follow up. It's again, I don't like to push sales. It's a very organic way of talking again and seeing if I really like to work with that person as well. It's a mutual connection. And from there on, I usually make an offer and send them just a little offer. And if it's 2 months, if it's a long time offer, what can you do? What would you like to do with me? Yeah.
Amazing. So on that front, it doesn't sound like you're doing much around ads right now. Is there a reason for that?
I have stayed away from ads.
Okay.
And just for the simple reason that everybody is doing it, and I'm not really sure, I don't really see a return on investment there. I have a lot of people that are doing Facebook ads. I've been looking into it. I've been testing the waters. Is it for me? Is it not for me? I'm not really sure. And my bandwidth, of course, working joyfully 60 hours a week. I always work. I love to work. But it is not one of the things that at this moment I need to add on, I think. And there's so much coming through that I do not really, like I said, that I really don't get into either. It's all, of course, when I start opening one up, I get all these information ads, right? About make $6 million in 6 weeks, right? Work with me now. Those ads, wonderful if that's what you need to do. That is not my way of work.
Yeah.
And I am very much looking for alignment with clients. I'm very much looking for just a spontaneous connection, good conversation. I do not need everybody out there to work with me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. Yeah, you want to
I'm not
provide.
really sure at this moment. That's just a simple answer, a long answer to a short question. I'm not really sure if it's for me at this moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what does the sales process look like for you then, Elliot? You've been in the game for quite some time now. Is this something you're still doing a lot, mostly on your own? I know you just mentioned you're doing about 60 hours a week of work, which is so much. So how do you juggle the hats? Do you have a sales team, a marketing team, an assistant? What does that team behind you look like to get all this accomplished?
I have a team, absolutely. I have 2 assistants, virtual assistants. One is busy with YouTube and the other one's doing everything else for me. Just I feed all the information and they are able to make amazing, and a marketing and a PR person. So they're amazing following me with what I need to put out every week. So let's start with the system, Jay. I do have a system on what information I'm going to put out there. I have a bi-monthly mastermind starting. I do workshops, webinars, and so forth. They fill that in and manage my CRM system, manage my clientele, my emails there. I send out the content and they're amazing with their graphics and their help behind the scenes. Absolutely. I believe everybody needs a team. I do not mind, like I said, I do not mind working so many hours a week. I love what I do. And for that reason, for me, because I am so about passion and purpose, for me, it doesn't feel that I don't have work-life balance in a sense of I need to apply that for myself. Because for me, it's all about the love for what I do. But I'm very able and capable to say on Fridays, I'm taking the weekend off. I'm not here. I'm not going to pick up. I'm all for disconnecting to connect with myself, right? Just to leave that social media out and just sit and do something different. So I have the freedom and the capacity to do that as well. If I reach out to people that I connect with, and then I start a conversation, mostly on LinkedIn or on DM, might be Facebook. I try to find out if they have a problem and if I can help them, or if they want to refer somebody to me. I'm all about referrals and I love referrals. Love testimonials, love referrals. So that referral system, I love to start a conversation by saying, hey, Jay, do you know somebody who could use my help?
Mm.
And that usually gets people to think, oh, that is great, but let me look at her website. Maybe there's something that I can actually use for myself.
Absolutely.
And then from that moment, it's just keep going, kind of bring an offer. I have learned not to scale back anymore in a sense of not to hold back and explain myself on cost, of offer or investment. Now it's sales a service for me. So now at this point, I see, and honestly, I'll share with you, I had to learn that part of sales the hard way. Not going constantly back. Yes, I can make you a discount offer. Yes, I can take a payment plan. I still will do if people are really honest with me in conversation of what they can bring to the table and what they can do. But right, I'm open. But to bring it back for myself, I have seen so many times the long-term ROI on investment, what people get way after working with me. It goes for years. And that's the same what I learned in the physical fitness industry, of course. Right? You want to work with me for a couple of months and now know for life what you need to do for yourself on that machine or at home, or why this stretch is so good for you, or why you need to wake up doing this and that movement, because that goes for life. So it's not a short-term investment. It is not something that, oh yeah, but what if it's over? I'm going to change your life.
I love it. So with that, I do want to take us into the lightning round here, Elian. The time is zooming on me. I can't believe it. It's incredible to have you talking through everything that you've done with the experience that you have. It's truly an honor, Elian. So with that, first thing that comes to mind when I ask these questions, and we'll kind of power through them. The first is going to be on the bottleneck side of thing. What is your biggest bottleneck right now? Whether it's the lead generation side, consistent lead gen, or converting your clients, or delivering on the fulfillment side, being that you're doing a lot on your own with the help of your assistants. What would you say is your biggest bottleneck right now?
Lead gen is always a bottleneck, not because I'm not always there and following up and trying, or you making conversation and getting that started, but there's always room for more. It's not a bottleneck. It's not a problem because I'm very aware of the fact that for me, it is all being in alignment and in my energy as well. So I am not one of these people that say, let's go every month and take 5 to 10 new clients, because I wasn't done with clients that are working with me. So I only have room for so much. So for me, it is not a struggle or a bottleneck, but it's more a process to where when the schedule opens up a little bit, I get after it. I get on podcast. I'm looking for new opportunities to reach out. I'm looking for a new opportunity to start conversations and align with people. And so it goes a little bit on a wavy flow with me,
Yeah.
because when the schedule is full, the schedule is full. And I am not in, some therapists can do that, 8 people a day at 50 minutes. That's not the way I work either, right? I take an hour for you. If we go a little bit overtime, that no problem at all, because I don't schedule like that back to back. I take an hour in between. I take time to be with somebody. And that being aspect is really, and that's why this executive coaching and me reaching out to people in HR and making conversations and getting speaking opportunities is so important, because our corporate environment, our corporate world needs some help. They really do. And that's one of the biggest. So that would be a bottleneck or a strategy for me that I'm working on. Definitely a working quarters, definitely this next third quarter, just even more opening up the conversation with corporate HR. How can I help you? What can I do? Lunch and learn. Can I do a little webinar for you? Can I do an hour, a small group, right? For your C-suite, that kind of thing.
Love it. I love it. And then just to wrap us up here, Elian, what is a piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in right now, other founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, with the amount of experience that you have and the success that you've seen? What can you offer them before we wrap up the show today?
So many entrepreneurs I work with, they get stuck and it's so difficult to see outcome and to see results. There's one thing that I always tell everybody: take action every day. Eat a frog in the morning, have discipline, right? Have a routine. Do the same thing every day. I start with my own routine every morning, do some mindfulness, breathing, reading, maybe do some working out, that kind of thing. Then get into it. But take action every day, because your persistency, your consistency, just being out there, just doing it, it will absolutely pay off. And 3, 4 years ago, when I just started my own practice, all on my own, like, nobody would immediately assign me clients. Where are they? Where can I find them? When I was by myself, that was the hardest part, to just believe, just do it. Just do it. Take action every day,
Amazing.
even if
Amazing.
you don't want to.
I love it. I love it. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Elian, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, sharing that incredible journey and your insights with us. As I mentioned earlier, clear as day, with the passion, the drive, just your energy is so beautiful. And it was truly an honor to have you on the show. So thank you so much again. And to our
Thank you.
listeners, yeah, absolutely. And to our
Absolutely.
listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Elian's work at elianhaan.net and follow her on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Elian Haan. And for more resources and insights, you can visit us here at closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we'll see you on the next one.